Well, with an opening hand like this, I kind of got to give it a go, right? To see if we can actually pop off with Brainstorm. I've done everything absolutely possible to make this consistent, right? And as you can see, I'm running Sunkiss. And I've gone through, I've looked at all the draw, right? What's neutral draw, what's minus draw, what's positive draw, and it all works functionally. And it should technically work as long as you meet a few conditions. One, you have Brainstorm to play, obviously. You have Cash Out to get at least 4 silver, so 1, 2, 3, and probably the Mage Master Boots, right? Keep the Tencent as just a free draw. And then, yeah, we go. So we'll cash out, we get rid of the crown, we'll get rid of the tunic, and actually I'm going to get rid of the Tencent since I have Tome in hand, right, with the Mage Master Boots. We'll do that, and that's the 4 silver required to make the 3 cash outs positive draw, right? So we have the gold for 1 and then 4 silver, so 2 for each of the other 2. So we will just Arsenal the Brainstorm and hope we draw well enough, right? Well, actually Arsenal the Tome makes more sense in a proper match. So we Sun's Kiss and Whispers. So the other big condition for this deck, other than Brainstorm, is to actually have Moon's Wish. Is it Moon's Wish? Yeah, Moon Wish, right? Because that triggers Sunkiss. And if you've played a card named Moon Wish this turn, draw a card, and this gets Go Again, right? Which is really important because, well, if you play it for instant, the Go Again doesn't really matter, but the 1 draw, right? So you're paying 3 per draw, which makes Kano's ability basically silver, right? Which makes it neutral draw, which is really important. And you can run 9 copies of Sunkiss. So that's 9 deck slots as long as you have played Moon's Wish and you've given it some sense of Go Again, which we'll go over, which is, you know, another difficulty, but hopefully or we draw the answer, I should say. So yeah, hopefully we have all the pieces we need to make this work. Otherwise, just gain life, which is no good. So given the opt, I'm going to opt. See what we draw. Energy Pot and Scar for a Scar. So we'll bomb the Scar for a Scar. We're going to take this as slow as possible because, again, I just want to make it, work fully, right? I want to see me draw through my entire deck, basically. So we'll play the Energy Potion and we'll take another turn. We really want to see Moon Wish. So Moon Wish is also the worst card in the deck because it bricks Kano's ability, right? If we can't draw into it and play it, then Kano technically has 1 dead card aside from Eye, because I'm also running the Eye of Ophidia, and also then all the Sun Kisses are useless. So it's kind of survive. I mean, if you top deck Brainstorm and Moon Wish, you're free to go for it, basically, right? Because you'll get cash out eventually. It's a -1, but that's fine. We don't want Pry. You know, we have the 2 Brainstorms. That's probably too early on. Well, I can pitch the Sunkiss, so that's not horrible. All right, we'll go for it. We'll see how much damage we can do. Since we have the Energy Pot and everything too. So, pass. It is turn 5, right? So, I'm pretty sure if you did nothing for 5 turns Classic Constructed as Kano, you would be dead, just for reference, right? So, I've made the deck consistent. I haven't made the mechanic consistent, if you get me, right? So, Energy Pots. That allows us to play the Mage Master and then draw with the Tome. I'm doing this first because I want better cards to pitch into Brainstorm, right? So we got Pry, we got another Energy Potion, so that's perfect. So we can go Brainstorm, pitch a Pry, pass, then the other Brainstorm, pitch the Energy Potion, pass, and now's the chancing, right? So we Kano and hope we get our draw. And there are a lot more draw cards. Nasty Surprise, unfortunately, is not a draw card. So just like that, it's dead. Well, that's not really one shot, but we'll go over the idea, right? That, again, is trying to make this more consistent. I think the deck is the best odds we could possibly get. Maybe a few less attacks, but theoretically, if it was stacked in the correct order, absolutely fine, right? Okay, so here's the deck, right? Kano, Crown, usual goodies, but we have a bunch of draw. And basically, here's what I'll do for you, right? We're right on them. So that's neutral draw, for instance, right? Off Kano's ability, it's basically silver. We get it, we get to use it, and it's just draw 1 card, so it's silver, right? Pitch 1 card, draw 1 card. All the Moon Wishes are the same. They're neutral draw. So that's them, and them. Then we have the 3 cash-ins, right? So Kano's ability, pay 3. As long as we have the gold and silver, it's then draw 2 cards, meaning we've pitched 1 and hopefully then draw 2, making them +1s. So technically this is now a +3 in total, right? Art of War, similar, right? Pitch Kano's ability, then we have to banish one attack, right? So it's 2 cards gone to draw 2. So it's a neutral draw. Tome of Eighth Wind, pitch 1, draw 2. So they're +1s. So another +3. Then we have Tome of Ferendale. This is 4. So this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, right? Because we have 3 different slots, basically. So again, 3 for Kano. So you're getting rid of 1 card. You have to pay for 1 of them, right? But then that covers the cost of all 3, technically. So the first one is neutral draw, right? Pitch 2 cards. Then everyone after that becomes a +1, right? Which is very impactful. So this is overall a +2. Okay, then we have Cash Out, just to find the silver. Again, you want to technically play Cash Out and Moon's Wish to activate all the Sun's Kiss. This round's on me, similar. The first one is a -1 though, and then everything else is a neutral draw. But again, -1 while we have all these pluses means we're pretty much in the clear. We have Lead the Charge, which is our main way to make Moon Wish go again, or have enough action points, right? So Lead the Charge can be played off of Cash In, can be played off of Moon's Wish itself because it's 2 cost, and Brainstorm, right? So there's a decent amount of triggers and a decent amount of stuff that we're going to play. So the perfect starting hand, I would have to say, is probably a Brainstorm, a Lead the Charge, Moon's Wish, and 1 blue, right? And you're probably not... Are you playing? No. It's a bit more convoluted than that, and actually think about it. You'd want Brainstorm, right? You want Brainstorm, you want Lead the Charge for the action points. You'd want a draw card, and then a pitchable card. And then in your arsenal, probably another draw card, right? And the idea would be to play Brainstorm off the pitchable, have the ability to draw, so probably Cash In to go +1. And then from there, you'd want to get Moon's Wish off the draw cycle, while then off of Kano. This is the big difficulty, right? So with all the draw cards, what it means is using Kano's ability, you need it laid. You need draw into a pitchable card / playable card into draw, right? And it has to be that ordering. If it's not that ordering, you stuff up. Now, the nice thing is we run a ton of draw, as you can probably see. Is it enough? Probably not, but we can also play Pry, which is a cycle, right? It is technically a -1, right? So all these are -1s, so technically that's a -3. But if we add up what we have so far, right? +3, +3, so that's 6, 8, and then so far -4, right? So we're still at +4. We then have Oct, so that's another -3 in total, right? So we're still at +1 in terms of hand size. So 1 in the arsenal, 4 in the hand. We would still be, we'd actually be at 5 cards, right? If we drew everything consecutively. So Brainstorm is a -. The 1 in hand is a -2, right? Because you lose Brainstorm and you lose the pitchable card. So every time we play a Brainstorm is a -2. That's bad, right? So that now, if we want to say play 2 Brainstorms to actually get this combo to work, that means we're now at -3, right? But again, from 1 in the arsenal and 1 in the hand means we still have 2 cards. There's not 2. We still have 2 cards in our hand, right? So technically, it's still feasible because that means we have 1 card to pitch and 1 card to play, right? So if we end up drawing into, say, Blazing Aether, we're fine. If we end up drawing into, anything else we want to play, we're all fine. If we get 2 pitchables, that's also fine because then we can just play into Kano's ability. So again, theoretically, everything is stacked in our favor. We don't go negative. We don't lose all our cards, right? There are still some difficulties. Lead the Charge would also technically be a -1, but you only have to play 1. So we're now at 1 card, right? And it's a lot of finagling. But again, technically speaking, if everything is in the right order, it's perfect. Problem is, it is a lot of variable to get into the right order, right? You could essentially, again, take it to be, what are the chances of it, again, being draw into a pitchable card / playable card, right? So you play a draw, you then get one of the other 2, right? So in terms of the pitchable cards, this is where we're very much in the clear because we have all blues, or we have a ton of blues, right? So that is all pitchable. Regardless, even if, say, we want to play a draw card, and from here, it's only this round's on me, really, and Sun's Kiss, right? Which Sun's Kiss is still, again, neutral draw. First one is -1, but then it's neutral draw, so that's fine. You can pitch them into Kano's ability. Getting the Pry in a draw cycle would be bad, but if it's in a pitchable cycle, then we don't have to worry about the minus, right? So the only real minuses that are guaranteed are the Brainstorms we play and the Lead the Charge. So again, it's a -3, which balances out the Pry, right? And same with Whispers. You technically don't need that. And guess what? We're now back into to normal hand size, positive hand size. So technically, this is the best odds of Brainstorm Kano, at least that I can think up, and I might be completely wrong, might be missing something. But again, it's still up to chance, right? I guess your best starting mechanic though would be again to have cashed out and then have cash in, right, to go full positive in hand to give you lots of options. Drawing the Tome of Aetherwind is very bad. That's also another thing to talk about, right, because it doesn't have go again and it's a red. So taking something like Deep Blue would help increase this odds. But if you take Deep Blue, you have one less card to cash out. And again, we really need to hit the 4, because if we have to pay for a cash in, we run into problems, right? Because now that's a 7 cost if we're using Kano's ability. And 7 is at least 3 cards, meaning it's now a -1. In fact, sorry, it's -2 because you lose cash in as well if it's in hand. No, but in that case, it's not in hand, it's Kano. So it's a -1, right? Again, doable, but not great. So the fact that you can have these situations is great. But again, the constraint of having played Moon's Wish, Lead the Charge, Cash Out, and Brainstorm makes it a less than favorable combo, in my honest opinion, because, right, when you get past 2 cards, then you're running into trouble. Especially when, we look at we look at Melody, we look at Riptide, all these other combos that we've been playing, they're all free draw, in a sense, right? No matter what I draw into, it's fine. If it's something I can play, I play. If it's not, then I just use silver, right, in the case of Melody. So all that's fine. You can still dead draw, and there's probably ways to make it more consistent. I mean, in all honesty, adding Sun's Kiss to any of these decks is something I might actually consider, right? Because play Moon's Wish, as long as you have a way to get the action point, again, not too difficult, you have a ton of cycle that then you wouldn't have to pay silver for, which would be fantastic, because it means you can reduce the number of cards in your deck and therefore increase the overall odds. But yeah, this is my best attempt at Kano, right? I was also thinking rewind. We need to test this, right? In fact, we might do that right now. So rewind, negate target non-attack action card and return it to the owner's hand. Then that hero gains 1 action point. So that there's a few things going on here that we need to decipher. One, what's the interaction with the banish, right? So if I use Kano's ability, which is instant speed, can I then instant speed on top of that? Can you? Because you do get the prompt, right, whether or not to ask. Because the way I think about rewind, basically, if you can use it off Kano's ability, it means that you're now paying 4, so 3 and 1. Well, 3 for whatever you're attempting to play, and then 1 for an action point, right? Which alleviates Lead the Charge, means it's a bit easier. You now have 6 chances of drawing into it, and overall, I'm fine with that. Is it great for the deck? Probably not, but it's something. Sift, maybe blue Sift, but again, they're straight -1s, right? In a sense, again, priors as well. So you could take out tax, but I'm running Art of War. Art of War again, being another whole bunch of draw. I mean, if you think about it this way, we got 1, 3, oh god, now I have to do math. 4, let's do this again, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 16, 22, 25, 31, 34, 37, right? We have enough draw to cycle through 37 cards of our deck. That's the highest odds of any deck, right? The Melody deck is like 20, which is a third. This is over a half. And again, if we stack it in some way where we get more stuff on board for cash out and use silver, that could potentially be helpful. The issue is the big 3 for Kano, right? You pay the 3, and if it results in nothing, you're just screwed, because that's a -1 every time you misdraw with Kano. It's a -1, right? So either ways to generate more resources. Robes of Rapture is something I'd love to make work, but again, we need that extra step to gain action point, right? If we could consistently have Time Snap Potion, sure. I'm tempted to actually run Knick-Knack, Bric-a-Brac, right? Because it's still just a pay 3 and find anything you want, right? So that can guarantee that we get a Time Snap, that can guarantee that we get an Energy Potion. You could technically use the gold to get 2 on board, which could be helpful. So it's tempting, right? But then again, it's a red, so it becomes a dead draw. And it's the same sort of scenario. You still have to find it, right? The only difference is you might get the value of being able to put 2 things into play. But yeah, this is just the best I can tinker with so far. Again, not consistent, but I do like that I've uncovered Moon's Wish and Sunkiss, and I'm probably going to run that in Melody. Because even just the health gain is kind of nice, right? It prolongs. Now, the draw card and go again, sure, for the chain, much better. They're much better than some of the other reds and yellows I run because they wouldn't be dead. But again, I'd still need to go Moon's Wish, go again, which we generally run 2 Art of Wars, so that's not horrible. And it's not chain, it's just as long as it's been played this turn. Plus, you also have that secondary effect, right? You may put a card from your hand on top of your deck rather than pay Moon's Wish cost, right? Which helps with Kano because you can stack in your favor. And then if it hits, search your deck for a card named Sunkiss, which again means that you wouldn't lose a card if you played it. Whether or not your opponent lets it through, probably not. But still, just play it, activate it, and then you have 9 cycle, right? Which is just seems fantastic to me. I mean, again, if you play him off Kano, you don't have to worry about it, but you do need the draw proc. Whew, mouthful. Bit of math. Let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed, see ya.